French, but shalom and greetings to you all. Last week we all said goodbye to Hanukkah, a celebration that illuminates Jewish life, existence, struggle, a celebration that brightens and drives away darkness everywhere, the world over, wherever a menorah is lit. Now, it's a story that recalls the unlikely victory of the physically weak over the strong. But the physically weak were spiritually strong, and spiritual strength will always prevail. The more than 2,000 years of lighting the menorah for Hanukkah is a testament to the triumph of freedom over oppression, spirit over matter, light over dark. And we seem to be constantly in that battle. And as it ended, so another year ends and a new one begins. The inexorable movement we try so hard to control instead of just enjoy and accept. Let's say goodbye to this past year now and hope for a better one. Times like this, I think of the 13th century poem by Avraham Hazan Gerondi that says, "Let the year end with all its curses. Let the new year begin with all its blessings." Now, many do not know how to take each year. Right, so let me make a suggestion. May we hold lovingly in our thoughts those who suffer from tyranny, subjection, cruelty, and injustice. Let's work every day towards the alleviation of their suffering. May we recognize our solidarity and understanding as instructed in the Torah with the stranger, the alien, the outcast, the downtrodden, the abused, the deprived, so that no human being is treated as other, that our common humanity weaves us together in one fabric of mutuality, one garment of identity. May we pursue the biblical vision of peace, that we might live harmoniously with each other, side by side, respecting differences, cherishing diversity, with no one exploiting the weak, each living without fear of the other, each revering divinity in every human soul, whatever form it takes. Now, who would have thought that writings from the 13th century could be so applicable 8 centuries later? And may we struggle against institutional injustice, which is all around us. Free those from oppression and contempt. And as I implore every week, that we act with purity of heart and mind, that we despise none, defraud none, that we hate none, that we cherish all, that we honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. And as I also ask every week, may all people know peace in this year, and may we nurture kindness and love everywhere we go. And while the spiritual symbiosis of all living beings still too often remains hidden, we can be elevated to that lofty height in which humankind becomes one with the totality of life, even with vegetation and inanimate existence, as we were so long ago. May it be your will, O Lord our God, that this new year be a peaceful year for us and for all the world. May it be your will, O Lord our God, that we be blessed with all we need in the new year. May it be your will, O Lord our God, that we be blessed with happiness. May the new year be filled with an abundance of blessings. May the new year be filled with love and peace. May the new year be a good year for us all. And in less than 1 month, on January 22nd, when the sun goes into Aquarius, well, you get a do-over when the Chinese New Year hits. And this year will be the year of the wascally wabbit. And I'm sure Elmer and Bugs would be unacceptable today. And I'm so glad I at least got to see them. And we will address what that new year heralds as it comes closer. But for now, may all your hopes, dreams, and wishes come true in this new year, my friends. And I want you to remember the words of the great poet Rabbi in his poem about days gone by, a poem that symbolizes reunion, not parting. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot when old lang syne for old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne. We'll take a cup of kindness, yeah, for anxiety. For days gone by, my friends, a wonderful year to each and every one of you and everyone you touch. Now, whether you've just celebrated Christmas or Hanukkah or the four-bearer holiday of both, the Roman festival of Saturnalia, when the solstice celebrated the ascension of Saturn as Capricorn's ruler, celebrated by feasting, gift-giving, increasing light. All sound familiar. So super Saturnalia to one and all. Enjoy the miracles of life. And on top of all that, it was Tally's birthday, and that too calls for great celebration. But whatever we celebrate, let's make sure we also celebrate our coming together as a like-minded group, a collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love, a true chavura, a fellowship, expressing our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes, unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach, sharing, bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together, we're individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her or their own way. So once again, please do go ahead and invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, any way at all to gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov come together. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yad. Hine Matov, Shevet Achim Gam Yad. How good and pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. We support each other in this community, my friends. So let's spread love, goodwill, and fellowship to the world. Remember, this is you setting aside just a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space to honor and converse with whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something. It's a part of your Kavanah. Your intention you put out to the universe, it's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you can correct. It's your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives. So let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Let's send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal for everyone. Flows through space, finding those in need. So send it out for those you know, for the souls and spirits of everyone you love. So think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names. Not just for people, it's for our pets. It's for the earth that is the healing of the world, the tikkun olam, part of our spiritual genetic makeup. We have to help heal the world. It's not something we complete. It is an ongoing task to be dealt with in this lifetime. It's for every lifetime. We must each do our part. We must each do what we can to improve and change our own little corner of the world. As we change ourselves, we change our conditions of life. Part of that healing of the world is when we send these thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. Let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers for those who are undergoing surgery or special care. We pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them. We want health, recovery, goodwill for everybody around us. For Helen, Doria, for Ronnie and Johnny, for Fern and Gloria, for Shelley and Snoopy, Danny, Nina, Terry, for all those suffering and in need. Let's not forget to include those familiars of our lives, all our secret animal friends everywhere, for everyone you know in need, for the whole world, for Devora. Friends, it is the kindness. The healing wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care, because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. I have obtained a core deep obtained. May the source of strength bless the one that's made for us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Yishaber, let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, in which we call upon God to heal as is healed. Before me, Shaberach, may he who blessed, because all healing is a blessing. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Thank you for the names you've all sent in. We lit candles in the special memorial service, which serves to elevate and honor the souls and spirits of those we miss. This week, we continue on the path that changes the world. As we read the third most dramatic of the Joseph saga, the second last of the readings in Genesis, Vayigash, and he approached. Now, it's the great reveal. And Joseph tells his brothers who he is. And he invites his family to come survive the worldwide famine in Egypt, where they'll be given great privilege, being the family of this man second only to Pharaoh. No one knowing this would set a 400-year period in place where the family of Jacob would become a great and powerful nation, but become enslaved until Moses comes to free them. Now, have you ever wondered why parshas begin and end at these odd moments that we keep seeing? This week's begins right in the middle of a scene from last week. You gotta wonder who edited this. Well, it starts off Genesis 44:18. And Judah went over to him and said, "Please, my lord, let your servant speak something in my lord's ears, and let your anger not flare at your servant, because you're like Pharaoh himself." Now, it's a very important statement, but it's this split in readings that people are always asking about. And the split in readings occurred hundreds of years after the final drafting of the Torah. And it was during the Babylonian Talmudic period that it was decided to divide the Torah into 54 readings for it to be completed on Simchat Torah, the celebration of the giving of the law, every year. And how they chose that was it is 54 weeks to cover the weeks in a leap year. Hence, certain readings are doubled in non-leap years. Now, logic and story didn't come into play. Some readings are short, some are long. But enjoy each one, for each offers you something. Okay, so we last saw that Joseph sets up his brothers. He'd accused them of being spies. He forced them to go back home. It said not to return without bringing their missing brother Benjamin, and that was a whole world in itself. Everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. With every move he makes, another chance he takes, odds are he won't live to see tomorrow. He knows they're not spies, but they don't know that he knows. And so he sends, this warning that they can't return without bringing the younger brother. And in his inimitable way, Jacob doesn't send them back until again they are out of food. So what if another of his sons is held as hostage and they don't know how Joseph, this great lord of Egypt, who they don't know is Joseph, may be treating him? Poor Simon, he could be being tortured for all we know. Well, the brothers do finally convince Jacob that they have to take Benjamin with them. And they return to Egypt. They're waiting to see Joseph, and he's watching them, and he watches the interaction of the brothers, because he doesn't actually sit with them, right? He has his people take care of them, but he's sitting there himself. He wants to know what they say, and so he is actually the one doing the spying, and he spies on them from the wings. I look from the wings at the play you are staging, while my guitar gently weeps. As I'm sitting here doing nothing but aging, Still my guitar gently weeps. He watched them as they were tormented by their fears, knowing they did not know him. They wouldn't recognize him. They would never suspect. They knew the boy they sold. But he, like they, has been aging. Now he was the man they did not know. It's 20 years later. But what you will see next week is that they aged physically, while he aged physically, psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually. It was a display of family dynamics and dysfunction, but things are not necessarily what they seem. And isn't that the way that it often is, even today? Genesis 45:1. Joseph could no longer hold himself in check before all who stood in attendance upon him, and he cried, "Clear out everyone around me." He wept out loud, and Egypt heard, Pharaoh's house heard. Now that's a hell of a weeping. It's the third major weeping that Joseph's done. It also tells you how close Joseph is to Pharaoh. In both proximity and in relationship, he can weep, and Pharaoh's house hears. Some believe it was simply another part of the palace. We are now at the great reveal of the Bible, and that Joseph, who has been somewhat aloof from his brothers, he turns and he speaks to them in their own language. He has spoken to them through an interpreter only, not giving away that he actually understood what they were saying. But now he tosses a two-word bombshell at his brothers as he says, "Ani Yosef," I am Joseph. How must the brothers have felt? Another huge karmic moment. Joseph said to his brothers, "I'm Joseph. Is my father still alive?" And his brothers were not able to answer him because they were terrified in front of him. Can you imagine how the brothers felt? That fear would have been a palpable fear of terror. Genesis 45:5. And he said, "I'm Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt. God has sent me before you. 2 years now there's been famine in the heart of the land. There are yet 5 years without plowing and harvest. And God has sent me before you to make you a remnant on earth and to preserve life, for you to be a great surviving group. And so, it's not you who sent me here, but God. And he has made me father to Pharaoh and lord to all his house and ruler over all the land of Egypt." Joseph saw the pattern of events in the karmic unfolding of destiny. It's not the brothers who did anything. It was God who sent them to Egypt in preparation for saving the nation. He could have held the kind of anger and negativity that Jacob held his whole life and that the brothers seemed to hold, but he took after his uncle Esau, who mastered the art of forgiveness. And friends, you can too. Use this season of miracles and forgive yourself for your mistakes. See them as opportunities for learning discernment, patience, and forgive those who've hurt you. Remember, your spirit is a forgiving and compassionate one. Let it out. From slavery, Joseph has become father to Pharaoh. Now that's a much more powerful statement than you can imagine, but we would have to rewrite some history to explore that. Perhaps we will another time. Yes, my friends, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life and the lives of those you love. Share your feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everyone you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace and freedom for everyone. And end to terror and hatred. Remember, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other. Share this right together, men and women equally. Let's all send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive and learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships in your life and tell those you love that you love them. Take advantage of the time you have. Enjoy the journey, because we take the twists and turns and the patterns that weave through the fabric of our lives in our efforts to grow, to learn, to be, to love. So please do love. Now bless you all. Have a fantastic week. A week of love and light, a week of peace, a week of miracles. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It is our intention, our Kavanaugh, our cause, our effect. Everything's linked. May you always have time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you have done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, with accountability, and with vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people in the world just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? If you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So do not stop your journey. Do not stop moving towards your promised land. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. It's always in front of you. And remember to have faith, an unwavering adherence to principle, just as I have faith in the principle of love in all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none, defraud none, hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in the year, and may you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart, quiet your mind, because the deepest source of your real power lies in your consciousness and your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. To make the most of your time in life. Continue to touch and transform the lives around you. You're never alone. You're forever blessed, and you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across, because we're all energy. And energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to bless, to love. So be generous. As you bless others, you bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear. Forgiveness, not anger. And be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief, what they mean to you. And never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel others have felt, whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together, and we are each there to help each other, because we're each of us trying to find love and acceptance and support. We all have or could have that special someone in our lives, so find them. Tell them what they mean. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. It is the key to life. Keep watching those miracles in your life and never stop dreaming. If it was not the best year, in fact, it's been a pretty rough decade for most, but it's all in how you look at things. There's always a bright side, and there's always hope that things will get better. If life seems jolly rotten, there's something you forgot. That's to laugh and smile and dance and sing. When you're feeling in the dumps, don't be silly chumps. Just purse your lips and whistle, that's the thing. Always look at the bright side of life. Come on, always look at the bright side of life. You know, it's like being a number 7 for those of you who know your Enneagram. Look on the bright side of life. Thank you for joining me, my friends. Have a great week, a wonderful new year. And please keep exercising forgiveness. Be thankful, be gracious, be kind, be loving. Believe in yourself and in love. And spread a little goodwill to the world. And never forget, you are the miracle in someone else's life. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.